The last time I'll be seeing that title card, I'm never watching this show again afterwards. After this episode, never again.
I'm the original.
Oh, I haven't done one of these in a while. I really haven't. Anyway, hi everybody, it's me, Season of Fandoms, and what the heck did I just watch? This is the last episode of Riverdale Ramblings, and this is the last episode of Riverdale I'm ever going to talk about. This is Season 7, Episode 20, entitled Goodbye Riverdale, and it is fitting because, yeah, it was saying goodbye to this show, and to Riverdale as a whole, whatever. What did I just watch? I watched the finale of Riverdale, yeah, but what did I just watch? Honestly, to be honest with you, season 7 hasn't been all that for me, honestly. Like, I know, to be honest, you could just see this as a one-off season, and you could just see it as like maybe a little spin-off or something. Well, for me anyway, I can't see this connected to the other like seasons at all. I think it just deviates from it, unlike with like Riverdale, for example, where it actually connected to the present timeline or the previous timeline. This season can be seen as its own thing, but they did reference the previous seasons of that lot, especially with the last episode and them looking back for their the memories of the previous timeline and whatnot. But I see this season as a one-off season, to be honest, and I didn't really like this season as a whole. It's probably my second worst season that I've watched for this show. I know that people probably had fun with this season, especially with like the different character iterations and that lot, but I just didn't like it because there were so many things from like the present timeline that got unresolved, which we will be talking about maybe later, that I kind of wanted like follow-ups on, but it's never gonna happen because this show is over and they're never gonna go back to that timeline ever again. But we had this timeline, this 50s timeline, and yeah, we this episode follows an 86-year-old Betty going all the way back to her last day of senior year with Angel Jughead. Okay. I mean, I wish we got to see Angel Tabitha again, but no, last episode was the last time we ever get to see her, and I think Tabitha deserves better as a character anyway. She really does. I did like Erin's portrayal as Tabitha, and I wish her the best in anything she does next. Honestly, like, I love Erin, and Tabitha just deserves better as a character, hands down. But yeah, we follow Betty going back to her last day of senior year, a day that she actually originally missed because she had the mumps, but now she's going back and living that day and whatever. But yeah, just... oh, some of the endings for these characters, we're just going to get right off the bat with spoilers. Some of the endings of these characters, I just... whatever. We'll start with the good endings, I guess. Cheryl and Tony had a good life. Like, Cheryl became a famous painter, and so Tony was there for the ride as well. I can't remember what she was doing afterwards. But they got to live a happy life, and they died peacefully or whatever. And they had a kid called Dale, which, okay, because it's named after Riverdale. I get it, but... it's better than River, I guess. It's better name than River. Is it? No, I don't know. They're both whatever names. But yeah, just... I mean, I'm glad that Cheryl and Tony got to spend their life together before they died peacefully and whatever. It's nice to get to spend their time together, and they actually had a kid, like adopted a kid and whatnot. But yeah, I'm glad they had that ending. Kevin and Clay also had a good ending as well. Yeah, just Kevin's ending of being like a Broadway person, as I expected him to, because he loves Broadway. I think it's off Broadway though, but it's still Broadway connected, right? Theatre, basically. And Clay works as a teacher, yeah, something to do with education, and it's pretty good to just seeing them together, and they have a good ending as well. The other endings, I mean, I don't know. We got to see Alice and Polly again at the beginning of the episode, and yeah, they had their endings as well, which I mean, it's fine, whatever. I'm not really. It's just whatever. And then we got to see the other endings as well. Didn't end good with Fangs and Midge. I think Fangs died pretty early on, I think. Yeah. And Midge, well, luckily with like residentials and that lot through like Fangs is record deal and everything. Midge got to live a happy life with their child, and that lot. So yeah, I mean, at least they got to live on, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just a bit about the ending as well. I don't really, whatever. And yeah, we got to see other people's endings and whatnot, which I don't really want to talk about, like Julian's and like Frank's and I forgot Kevin's dad's I forgot his name and whatever. Which, by the way, they left off something from the last episode with those two, and I'm like, what was the deal with their relationship? You know what? I don't even want to talk about it, honestly. Yeah, it was whatever. We're just gonna leave it at that. Fine. But yeah, we got a lot of other people's endings, like a glimpse of other people's endings, like Reggie's as well. Yeah, just yeah, like I don't really want to talk about the endings, to be honest. I guess we will talk about the core four's ending. So like, Jughead, you know, got his own newspaper publishing company, I think, something to do with newspapers. And yeah, he wrote satire comics and that lot, and yeah, he had a good life, I guess, and then he passed or whatever. His article, whatever, obituary, is that what it's called? Yeah, it's in the last issue of before he passed and whatnot. But yeah, apologies for just going about the place. I'm so happy that this show has ended, but it's also bittersweet as well, because I've been watching this show for 6 years since it first started, technically. Ever since I binge watched the first season on Netflix, I was like, yeah, I'll watch it until it ends. And I just didn't know how long it would be that. So yeah, 19-year-old me did not know how much this show blew up and how much this show literally derailed and fell off a cliff. But you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, we also got like Veronica's ending, which was she did her work in like executive producing and being a producer for Hollywood and stuff through movies. She did acting herself, or maybe no, she won 2 Oscars. It doesn't have to be necessary for acting, isn't it? I don't know, but she was in Hollywood. Like she wanted to be a big producer. And yeah, I mean, whatever, that's fitting for Veronica, I guess. But oh gosh, you know what got me so mad? I don't know if mad's the right answer, because here's a hot take. I didn't like Bocce this season. If you know from like my previous Riverdale Ramblings and reactions, I love Bocce so much. Like ever since the first season, I did like Bocce, but then it faded away over time, and then season 4 it just came right back like a bullet train. I loved them from then on out. But this season wasn't really doing it for me with Bocce. Like, it was very inconsistent with the relationship. But then again, it's kind of like the comics, because the comics are kind of inconsistent with their relationship, and Veronica and Archie's relationship. And then like the biggest like what the flip happened, and Betty, Veronica, Archie, and Jughead are in a quad relationship, and I'm like, what? And I shouldn't be surprised, because they dabbled in this before. I think season 3 did. Well, okay, not like necessarily the quad relationship. I think they referenced it in season 3 somewhere. I can't remember. I just remember like the hot tub, and they were talking about the relationships and stuff. Then yeah, it reminded me of that episode. It really ticked me off, honestly. I know I shouldn't be that press about it, but them being in the quad relationship, I'm just like, they really didn't want to put end games in this shit. They really didn't. And you know what? Kudos to you, touche Riverdale, because honestly, there was one point in time when I was watching this show, and I was like, I don't want any of the ships to become endgame because of how the fandom reacts to it, honestly. And to be honest, touche Riverdale. Touche. Honestly, touche. No end games for us. Fair enough, Riverdale. Okay. Still doesn't make me any less angry though, because as somebody who is a past bossy as someone who is a past Barchi shipper, or at least still ships Barchi from like the previous seasons, It hurts that they didn't end up together. It hurts that Archie is with this random woman in California after, like, he does all his things to do with the traveling and that lot. Like, he ends up with a woman, a random woman, and hasn't reconnected with Betty at all. Or maybe, I don't know if he reconnected with any of the other characters, but like, what was the point then? What was the point? I'm grateful though that they did actually have Bocce in like seasons 5 and 6, because that was the best they ever were. Honestly, like, even though it was a previous timeline, it was the best they ever were, and we got a lot of like KJ Lily's chemistry in those seasons. But they deserve better. They deserve better. Like, Bocce as a ship in this show, and even in the Archie universe, deserves better in my opinion. Because you just get the short end of the stick, really. Why? And what for? Just for no endgame? Or to do every single pairing and then have no endgame? Ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. You know what? Like, I shouldn't be that pressed, but I'm still kind of pissed. Honestly, like, I've been watching this show for years. Like, no definitive endgame, whatever. Whatever, it's a thing that I will get over, but it still boggles my mind that they just decided, yeah, you know. But touche, Riverdale, touche, because the way that the fandom was during those times, right? Horrible. So maybe it was a lesson for us, honestly, not to even expect any of that stuff or speculate on any of that stuff anymore, because it will just end up everybody being mad, you know? Whatever. And I don't see it as a win that Betty and Angel Jughead were spending time with each other for like Bughead people either. I don't see that as a win, but you know what, they didn't. It's whatever. People could just gulp up anything they want and just take whatever they want from this show, and honestly. And I'll take from this show, like, how much I did love certain relationships and friendships in this show. Like Bocce, big example. Bocce, of course. Like, I'll always love seasons 1 to 6 Bocce, or the many clips that I've got in my laptop of their relationship throughout the years. I always love that. And I always have, like, well, not a special place in my heart for it, but a little tiny equal space in my heart for them. But season 7 Bocce, no. And I'm so sorry to like any Bocce shippers that are watching this, that have watched my videos or heard of whatever. But I just, like, times change, people do change, and I just, yeah, season 7 Bocce will go along with Riverdale Bocce and me not liking them that much. But then again, that's with every pairing. Like, every pairing that I've shipped have things I don't like about them, and that's what makes them them. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really apologizing for my opinion. That's how it is. But yeah, like, and even with like certain pairings and that lot, there was no like resolution to, especially with like the core 4. It's just whatever. But I'm glad that Choni and Kevin and Clay got their happy ending. They deserve that. They deserve that happy ending as the most consistent relationships this season. Good on them. Good for them, honestly. Good for them. But yeah, like, this show, I still can't believe I've been watching this show for like 6 years. It's crazy. But I did watch it for 6 years, and I'm probably never going to watch this show again. So I guess this is a good time for me to say thank you and F you, Riverdale. Honestly, both of them. Like, both of them at the same time. Because I dedicated so much time to watching this show that I should have been doing something else. But you know what? I kind of don't regret it. I enjoyed this. Well, okay. Enjoyed is a big word. Enjoyed is a... Yeah, I don't think enjoyed's the right word, but I experienced... There we go. I experienced this ride with so many other people. And the fact that I've been watching this show consistently over the years, or, yeah, consistently for the most part, shows that I was dedicating the show in some way, shape, or form. And, yeah. All I can say now is goodbye, Riverdale. Thank you and F you, honestly. But huge thank you to like all the cast and crew who made this show possible. CW to an extent for hosting the show. Netflix to an extent for distributing the show. Just, yeah, thank you and F you, I guess. Affectionate, well, I don't know if it's an affectionate way or I actually mean it, like, fully. just F you. But yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about. I know there's a lot of things that I've forgotten from this finale, but you know what? I don't really want to talk about this show anymore. I really don't. So this is a goodbye from me of Riverdale Ramblings. I'm never going to do this again, so this is the last video in the playlist. Thank you so much for watching over the years. If you had, yeah, be sure, well, actually, don't be sure. You don't have to if you don't want to. Check out the other videos in the playlist to see what my thoughts were back then. The first Riverdale Ramblings video is the Riverdale Ramblings for season 4, that episode that changed my perception of Bocce forever, or at least, you know, clocked it for me. But yeah, if you want to, check out the other videos if you want to. They're not all that, but check it out. It's there forever, I guess. But as for me now, after Riverdale is done, there'll be a lot more shows to sink my teeth into. Sex Education is literally like a couple weeks away, so I'll probably do something on that. But other than that, yeah, just, I don't know what I'm going to be doing next after that, but who knows? Anyway, yeah, that is it for this episode of Riverdale Ramblings and the last episode of Riverdale Ramblings. Thank you so much for watching me ramble about Riverdale for about over 16 minutes. And yeah, again, goodbye Riverdale and F you. But mostly goodbye Riverdale and thank you. That's it. Hey, there's the classic sign. And we're done! We're done! I'm free! Yes! I'm so sorry. I am free! I am free! No more watching Riverdale for me. I am done. I am done. Oh, what a ride this was. What an absolute ride it was. Yeah, Woo! We are done. We are done with Riverdale forever. For me, anyway. I don't think I'm ever going to rewatch this show again. This show was treacherous to sit through all through the years. I am not doing that again for my sanity.